Page 38, drum dance. 4/4 time, 3 flats in the key signature. Oh, this will be fun. We're in the key of C minor. Time to do the scale on C minor. 2 octaves up and down. Go to my scale video. It explains it all in there. Let's check the notes and fingering and rhythms. Right hand first. 2/5 here. And you're holding that down for 7 counts. And then here, 4 and 1 and. As long as you get the 8th notes in, you're okay. 4 and 1 and. And that's held down for a couple measures. Now measure 5. It's here, 1 and. Just 1, 4, 2, 5. Make sure you connect those with the fingers. Don't put silence between them. Connect them. And then going on, 4 and 1. 4 and 1. And then measure 9, you got to come down. Just lift up and move. Don't have to. You can play the first note in measure 9 with the thumb and then 3. That's fine. However, you're going to lift up anyway, so if you want to lift up and move, that's fine too. Whichever. I tend to try and play everything connected when I'm first figuring out fingerings and all, because it helps guide what fingers I choose. So here I would probably just go ahead and use thumb and then 3. And then for measure 10, leave out the grace note for a minute. And I'm going to play that with 4th finger, because I'm going to play the grace note with 3rd. And then here. Here. They want you to go up here. Here. I don't care for the fingering in the book on this one at all. For measure 10. So again, measure 9 is 1 and then 3. And then 4, 5. That's an 8th note. 1 and 2. And then do it again. Now you can use the 5th finger for the G. And 2 or 1, whichever, depends on how big your hands are. I try and keep my hands out here as much as possible. I don't like going up in here any more than I have to. So I tend to do a 4. I got larger hands. And then lift up again. Here. So let's get the rhythm here. Starting on measure 11. You're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like so. And then going on measure 14, I do a 4, 2, 3. Again, so I don't have to put my thumb on a black key. Here. And then you have a measure rest, and then measure 17. We have a sequence going up here, and I'm going to start each of these patterns with 4th finger. Because I like to finger each pattern the same if I can. So I'm going to start here. 1 and 2. Don't forget the A flat, it's in the key signature. I know. Then 4th finger, keep going. 4th finger, like so. So I'm just starting 4th finger with each of these. That's all. But on the last one, come down, don't use 2nd, use 3rd. This way it's easier to get to the G, D for the whole notes. So it's 3rd finger on the last note on measure 18. So again, slowly, measure 17 here, 5th, then 4, then 4, and then 3 here, and then 21 you're going to do that again, sort of, 4th finger. On this time, instead of 3rd finger for the last note there on measure 22, use thumb. This way we're ready to go on. Because we're not going down here, we're going up here. So it's different. So it's thumb. And then for the next measure, the quarter notes, I do a 2, 5, 1, 3. That way I can do a 2, 5 here, or 2, 4. And next measure, and watch the rhythm on these 2 measures, it's not the same. This is measure 23, 24. The notes are the same in each measure, the rhythm's different. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. And it's a 2, 4. Because this way for measure 25, you're just a 3/5. You're right there. It's really common for people when they're learning to play the piano to stick with just using certain fingers, like 1, 2, and 3. That's most of what they will use. Sometimes they'll use 4th finger, and they'll generally don't use 5th finger that much. So they would come up here, like so, or something like that. I'm encouraging you to get in the habit of working all your fingers. So just stay here. It's 5 and then here. And I'm just going to stay in this position pretty much for the next 4 measures. So it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I'm staying right there. And then I can also sort of stay there going on. I'll use 7th finger. Let's go down to measure 33. Now your ending measure 32 here. So just lift up and come down. I recommend a 1, 3 here. Here. So it's 1 and 2. Don't forget the E flats. They're in the key signature. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again, we've had this before. And I'm going to use 4 or 5 here because I'm going to use 3rd finger for the F sharp eventually. Left hand. You're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. You're just kind of staying in this area, not doing a lot. Good. Go over to measure 8. It's the last measure of the 2nd line. You're here. Now, on the last note, I recommend a 3rd finger on that. This way you can do 1, 4 for the whole note, not 1, 5. Because you got the next measure coming up, you need the G. So I'm using 4 so I can use 5th finger on the next measure. Again, it's one of the reasons I play everything connected, so I can figure out a fingering that works for that. It works rather well. So again, on measure 8, you're here. Just reach down here. And then going on, it's 5. And then you can do a 2 or a 3, whichever. It's all connected to rest, rest. Now measure 13, you come on down here. I find that a bit of a stretch. I don't know why they want you to use 4th finger. You don't have to, you can use 5th finger. Of course it's loud, but the left hand isn't going to be loud. It's the right hand that's going to be loud. So 5th finger's fine. 3. But then I'll measure 16. They want you to go measure 15, you're here. They want you to lift up here in 4. No. You're here in the next measure, this measure 16, play the first C with thumb, just reach up. And then 4. So there, and then for the last note in measure 16, 4th finger. We've had this before because we got the A flat coming up. I can do that. I can connect them. So let's go back to measure 15. You're here. Then up. Here. And then you can come on down again. Just each note goes down a half a step. It says here 2, 5, and 3, 1. Reach down. 1, 3, however you want to finger that. You do that some more. This is measure 23. See, that's the whole thing. That's 1, 2, 3. Going from measure 24 to 25. You're going from here to here. Pivot on this and just come across. Of course, the staccatos will help, but I want to feel this for right now. Here, now when you get to measure 25, if you want to do 5, 2 here, and both of them are black keys, so it shouldn't be a problem having your hand up here. Just slide out for the white key. Up here each time, that's fine if you want to. Or, on measure 25, you do the first one, you do a 5-2 and then a 5-1. And this, you can do a 4-2 for the black keys. Then I'll measure 28. You can do a 5-2 and a 5-1 or 5-2, however. Fifth finger on the last note. And then for measure 29, I do a 4-1 and then a 5-2. It's like we had on the line above, except I'm just trying to get into it. Because I don't want to go from here to here. So I'm going to go to here and then here. So it's... And then on measure 32, fourth finger, because we got to go down to an A flat. And then you can come down here if you want. You can use 5, it can slide off. Now, they got 3-1 here. I don't want to go. I mean, it's doable, their fingering they're suggesting, but I find it a little more tricky. A little trickier, or whatever it is. I mean, they want a 3-1 here. And that's okay, that puts you in position for what's coming up. The question is, how do you get there? So if I don't get there here, then I just slide off, and you can do that. Or you can do this, third finger for the end of 28, measure 28, and then do a 4-1, and then you can use fifth finger for the G. There's the other fingerings. You experiment and find a fingering that works for you. Put the hands together slowly. Let's see what, again, I'm still connecting everything I can. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. I don't want to play it all for you. You can figure it out. Just take it really slow and easy. You may have to go back and practice it one hand at a time again in spots, but you'll work it out. And then once you have it, and get rid of the hesitation so the beat is steady, then we can add in the articulation and the grace notes. So it's here, a nice light wrist staccato here. Short staccatos. Lift up between the slurs. So there, I'm third measure. Connect, staccato. When you go from measure 3 to 4 in the left hand, you can go ahead and connect all that. You don't have to separate that. No, just connect it. Now there's different ways of interpreting this, so I can't say that one way's right and one way's wrong. It's just that, to me, it's easier to just connect it on these slurs, and you have followed by a staccato note. Connect the slur to the staccato note. So on measures 3 and 4, it's here. I'm just going to connect them. Either you don't have to, you can disconnect them. Different ways of interpreting it. You decide which way you want to go, but I'm going to connect them. So let's go on to measure 5. We're here. See, they put slurs here, but they don't put slurs anywhere else. Well, tells me I got choices. I can connect all that so it's all slurred together. Or I can disconnect the notes that are not slurred. Or some of them. I don't know. It's my choice. There's nothing marked. So you experiment on what you like, and maybe one time you play it one way and another time you play it another. I'm always experimenting when I'm playing anyway, so I never play things the same each time. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to just connect them, and then you can disconnect them later if you want. So it's measure 9, we're here. And And this grace note is real quick. Right before it. Some people play it before the beat, so the G comes with here. Other people will play it on the beat, so it comes with this. You interpret it however you choose to, or however your teacher tells you. Most people on grace notes will play them before the beat. I'm different. I play about all, because that little note, even though it looks like a grace note, may not be one. There's other little ornament things that can look like that and not be a grace note, believe it or not, and those are played on the beat. I don't worry about them. I just play it on the beat. I like it. It happens so quick you can't hardly tell anyway. So go back to measure 9 here. Now lift up here. So here I'm lifting up in the right hand, but go on. Now here, staccato, accent. This helps bring out the syncopation. It's almost like a hemiola effect here. It's like here. You get the idea with this articulation. When you knew that, we had the dynamics. Really, the dynamics is going to apply more to the right hand. This left hand is more like your drum. Keep it in the background. We want to hear this. All the time I'm playing this, I want to hear this. So it's loud. I don't know what loud is. You decide. It's loud. The left hand is moderately soft to moderately loud, depending on what you need. We want to hear the right hand. And you're staying there pretty much until the measure 8, when you're going to go up a little bit. Up to very loud here, and the right hand. So it's measure 9 and 10 is sort of very loud, and you need to come down. Come down, so you can crescendo again. So you're after that. That's your target. That's where you're one. That's the exciting part of it. And then this, come back down at loud. I'm playing the left hand soft here. Come down, diminuendo. Measure 17, you're sort of soft. That makes the accents sort of loud, just a little bit. Louder. You're up to loud again. Keep the left hand in the background. Moderately soft. The crescendo up, loud. This is the right hand that's loud. The left hand is back. Now you're very loud. Left hand can come up to moderately loud, sort. Very loud until measure 32. You come down. Now the left hand isn't very loud here. The left hand's never been very loud. So just go ahead and come down in the left hand a little softer than whatever you were. Because now we're loud in the right hand. We're going to crescendo up. We've had this before, and then go back down and do it again. And then come down. Moderately loud. That puts the left hand on the soft side. And you're going to crescendo up to loud for the last measure. So careful, don't get loud to the last measure. I'm soft here. Moderately loud, soft. Then I get a little louder. This goes up to moderately loud here because it's by itself. And then an accent and a staccato and you're loud. That makes it very loud. Loosen the wrist here. Don't, just loosen the wrist. Boom. Now speed-wise, simply is not a speed. They just keep it on the simple side. It wants to sound simple. It's not a simple piece to play. I think about the speed I've been doing it. Something like that. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'll do the staccatos and the accents though. So I'll give us 4 counts. You just go over it very, very slowly. Even one hand at a time if you need to. 1, 2, ready and go. And 1 and 2.